Hey guys, it's Gigi. It is Friday, June the 26th, 2026. Just coming on here because I wanted to give you just an update. First of all, the reason why you keep seeing these little snippets come from my channel is because, like I've said in other videos, in 2023, I started going down this rabbit hole when I realized that Keffe D had been arrested for the murder of Tupac Shakur and went through some sort of weird awakening or something. And so I kind of started looking around and snooping around and just kind of reviewing people's work to see what happened. In that time and during that time, I was introduced to Russell Poole and started following his work because for me it made sense. And so I started to rely heavily on his work, and it still makes sense. And the reason that I know that that is the only credible information that should be used in this case is because it's still being used. Right now, the dump that has been put on Keffe D with the files concerning the Notorious BIG, Russell Poole's files. What I don't understand is how they got into the hands of Greg Kading. Russell Poole gave the files to the FBI. Greg Kading has the files. I know Greg Kading has the files because Prosecution Shakur has a lawsuit. His lawsuit is civil though, it's not criminal. And in his lawsuit, the number one person that is mentioned more than Suge, more than Reggie Wright Jr., more than Sharitha Knight, more than Kenner and Ladd, is Greg Kading. And the reason is because Greg Kading won't give them the files. They've been asking for these files for years. So I know that he's going to be one of those unnamed defendants in that case, but that case really doesn't have weight because it's civil. The remedy is money. If all of those people were found guilty in that case, it would be monetary. They wouldn't go to jail. But in the Keffe D trial, when I broke the news of Keffe D getting this 4,000-page dump at this status hearing that was held on Tuesday. In this status, I got the information from Fox 5 KBBU TV, local Las Vegas news. I realized that they're probably going to use this for charging Keffe D with more charges, the most that they can get, because they probably cannot prove this case beyond reasonable doubt. See, this is a criminal case. They're going to charge him with as much as they can. They're going to use these files to do as much damage as they can because, again, they have to prove that Keffe D committed this crime beyond a reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt is not all that easy to prove because you have to prove that that defendant is guilty. And that means you have to present evidence that's going to convince a jury that no other logical explanation for that crime other than the defendant being responsible is out there, that this is your guy. And I don't think that that's going to be that hard to do because what they have is a lot of Keffe D's words. And Michael Sampt right now is arguing to try and keep his book, Compton Street Legend, out of the trial and some of the other interviews that Keffe D has done. And I don't really think that matters at this point. Yeah, he lied. He said it for money. And whether you put it in evidence or not, that's what happened. You still have to prove that he did it. I don't think he's going to be convicted beyond a reasonable doubt with just his words because he's kind of been proven to be a liar. And now he has changed it and said that a lot had to do with Reggie Wright Jr., that he didn't commit those crimes, that it was because of the proffer agreement. And so then you have to ask the question, okay, so are we talking about guilt or innocence, or are we talking about the words that you use? Are they protected because you say you had a proffer agreement? The prosecution is going to have to prove that he did it. And I think that's probably another reason that they're going to start charging Duane Davis with more things because they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And they probably just don't have enough right now other than his words. And so we'll have to see on the 30th what this status hearing is going to bring forth and how it's going to be set up. But just wanted to come in here and give you a little bit of background as to why you see these videos and say thank you for those who know and you support the channel. You don't say much, but at least you give me a like. That helps me a lot. So thanks so much, guys, and let's see what's happening because I'm going to try and follow it for as long as I can. And another thing is the book Labyrinth. Anyone who has not read that book, if you're really interested in really finding out what happened to Tupac Shakur and the Notorious BIG and what is the most logical, credible evidence out there to support a theory, you can start with Labyrinth because a lot of Labyrinth is just Russell Poole, some of his research, some of his files, some of his evidence. It kind of tells the story of Labyrinth. and how it started, how he got involved, and everything connected back to Death Row Records. And so, I mean, it's just an amazing read. And for anyone that really is interested, I just recommend it just to have listen to the Audible, because it is, not an easy read, because it does have a lot of evidence and things like that. But I just wanted to give that a plug, because that really kind of put a lot of things in perspective for me reading Labyrinth. But I've read Compton Street Legend as well, so I understand some of that as well too. Keffe D, it's easy to say that Keffe D basically told these lies and went along with the deal because, number one, he had like 70 or so Crips that had life sentences over their heads that he was making atonement for. His grandmother had died on the same day Orlando Anderson, his nephew, died, so he was probably broken from that. Um, he got away with some of the things that he would have been in jail for. So there are a lot of reasons why he lied, so maybe go at that angle. I don't know, but I just think it'll be interesting, and I do think that this dump of evidence connected to the Notorious Big has been unleashed on the defense, because they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Keffe D did this, and they just might not have enough other than his words, which are kind of faulty. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But this is Gigi, guys. Have a good one. Peace. Don't forget to like the video, please. Thank you. Peace.